Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Uh, so the people came and got the dog yesterday. They named him Clyde because they have another dog named Bonnie. And they actually sent me a message today letting me know how the trip went. I thought that was so nice. So we have one dog left, a little female girl, and I'm wanting to keep her real bad. Hi, Miss D. Good to see you. Real bad. I've even named her Lucy. Lord help me. That's 5 dogs. I got one in the house. I got a senior dog that we have to give special medicine every night. And she doesn't see well. She doesn't hear well. She doesn't walk well. But she seems to be wanting to get some quality out of life. So, I'm going to let her live it as long as we can, you know? And, I was thinking about my early sobriety just before I came on. And, even though I switched from AA after about 6, 7 months to church, I did not stop working on myself. I was keeping a journal and I was really searching and looking for answers and looking for, you know, okay, why did this happen? How did I get here? And if you don't ask those questions and seek those answers, you're just going through life by rote. And that's a dangerous place for an addict to be. I'm looking at
The temperature.
the temperature 60-20. Oh, okay.
It's going to be below freezing.
Going to be below freezing tomorrow night
And the next night.
and the next night. So informs me. So informs my husband. But hey, Tara. Hey, Ben. Bacon bits. But yeah, it's not always, it doesn't always work out that you can get the kind of therapist that you need when you feel like you need them, you know? And that doesn't mean that you don't start, that you don't, it doesn't mean you stop searching for those answers. How did I get here? And how do I not get here again? So anyway, hey, Anik. So I was just thinking about that, I understand that Tommy's taken a bit of a break. We don't know for how long, but you know, your sobriety is yours, and nobody can keep it for you but you. And so I just wanted everyone to not panic and to just kind of keep that in mind that you can do this. No matter what changes roll around, because life's going to hurl curveballs at you the rest of your life, and you get to choose how you get through them. When I was going through my divorce at the age of 24, I looked at my options. I thought, okay, well, we can have a counselor kind of mediate between us, and I had been begging him for marriage counseling, and he'd been just throwing fits and hitting the walls and like, why do you want to, not even getting full sentences out. Just, that was the flavor of manipulation that he used, and it was effective on me until it wasn't. And, and so I thought, this could be an opportunity. He always did what I wanted him to do, what I would be asking him to do, whether that be go with me places or, just take an interest in me, in us as a couple. He would always do that when I was trying to break up with him. And so, you know, I could have used that as a means to get through some counseling. I thought, you know, he actually wanted to go to a counselor when I started talking divorce, and I went on a session with him, and it was gang up on Carol hour. The two of them just ganging up on me. I'm the bad guy. I'm the, you know, I was the bad guy in everybody's eyes except for my mom's. I was the bad guy in my dad's eyes. My dad prided himself on being such a good judge of character and all this stuff. And my husband had him so snowed. And my dad was embarrassed when it came to light, you know, what he was and how he'd been doing me. And why I had reached the point of being just a mere shell of who I had been before. So there was that. I'd found a guy, an Episcopalian minister who seemed to have some insight that I was talking to. So I had some avenues here, and I thought, okay, we can do couples counseling to mediate this divorce. I can do individual therapy, or I can drink my way through this. And I chose how I got through it. That's what I was getting. I chose to drink my way through that thing. And the crowds that put me into got me free from him because they were too intimidating for him to be around. And that started, I had been a drinker, social drinker up until that point, but then, that's when I became a drinker for real, right then and there. And in that year that it took to get the divorce, there was a lot of destruction, a lot of havoc wreaked upon my person, my life. It was a mess. Yes, Archie's mom, bless my mom in heaven now, but yes. And anyway, so that's what it comes down to. We choose how we get through life's hurdles and curveballs and all the changes that are inevitable and will come.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had to say about that, I think.
Been trying to get my
I
microphone to work. Can you hear
yeah,
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, I
Okay.
can. At first I couldn't.
I've been trying to get this thing to
It's
work, and let me come back
it's
in.
kind of intermittent. Okay.
Let me come back in.
Hey, Stasia.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I was getting ready because I'm going to end up going out tonight. I'm kind of making myself go out and socialize a little bit.
That's good.
Yes, I know I
Yeah.
need to, and I know it's just the me that's going, you shouldn't. You should just stay in.
Right.
I just got something here from Tara. Lots of good things going on. Lots of challenges as well. Yes. Doing our best to staying positive. That's why I'm going out tonight. But I'm gonna go to the place actually where I went and had the mocktail with my with one of the ladies that was here that liked to practice her English, so I can try that again, practice, work that muscle.
Nice. Is it the
Yes.
same one that you went out with that one time for that same reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be a familiar environment. I'm not going to push myself too hard to go somewhere where I've not been before and there's alcohol present. So a familiar environment that I already know. I already know what they offer for like virgin drinks. I don't have to figure that out. It's the safest, I think.
There you go.
So,
Thank you for
yeah.
that, Archie's mom. All of that came down to my choices, at the end of the day. But, when somebody's manipulating you, how much choice do you really get if you're susceptible to it? If somebody's really good,
Mhm.
at
I was
their
really,
flavor of manipulation.
in the way that you described your situation, I related so deeply, like even from the counselor. Like it was, we had one because he had agreed to go and she was agreeing with me and he stopped. And then we had another one and it was gang up on me time.
Yeah.
And we did that for about 6 months, constant gang up on me on top of everything that was already going on. And that's when the pot smoking got to the really bad. Like I was probably smoking anywhere from like 4 to 7 grams a day, depending on like how stressed out I was.
And see, I don't know that measurement, but,
It was a
you
lot. Let's
know.
just put it that way. Like every half
Okay.
hour to every hour. It was a lot. It was not a cheap habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
I
I could relate with that fully. And it was, it's amazing to me how similar situations can be and still have so many differences, and we can learn so much from each other's story because of that. We can
Mhm.
relate, but at the same time we can be like, oh, but I never thought of that aspect. And then it makes you kind of introspect a little bit.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
it.
Yeah, thank you. Right on.
Hmm.
How are you, Christy?
Well, at first I want to say, Tara, I was thinking about you today, and I am so glad that you're here. I was thinking I
Yeah.
haven't seen her in a few days, and I haven't been able to catch really hardly any lives or any other channels. So I'm glad you're here. Um, it's interesting. Doesn't the universe or your higher power, however you see it, have a way of getting your attention? So I was getting ready. I was trying to glue my eyelashes on, got them both on today, even got a little cat eye going on here. But I was listening to my book by Dr. Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about lying and deceit. And I was like, oh, okay. Here we are. Who knew chapter 8 was going to be so profound? It's just some of the things in there just kind of hit and hit in a different way, and I kind of just sat there and really listened. It was one of those chapters that I listened to everything he said, and usually I kind of half listen and half don't, but I really listened. And
Yeah.
it was just kind of interesting that that's what it was, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting in is it anything you care to elaborate on?
Just interesting in how he was saying that people that lie to you, like they know that they're doing it in the moment that they're doing it.
Yeah.
And um it was a lot of it was just the whole chapter, like the whole thing just kind of. Have you ever seen NCIS, like that Gibbs smack where he just like smacks you upside the head? It was just kind
Yes.
of one of those things. It was like it was a combination of all of the stories that he told, and like why he chose not to lie, and how you can't face your own reality if you're lying to yourself about what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And you can't really get help that you might need if you're lying to yourself. um and I'm not lying to myself. It's not anything like that. I mean, don't please everybody, I'm eating, I'm fine, everything is good. It's just
Good.
in general overall.
Yeah.
It was just very interesting, to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And talking about how just I don't know. It just really kind of hit me, because we've all been lied to. We've all had
Yeah.
people not be honest with us. We've all
Yeah.
had situations where that has happened, and we've all, stretched the truth or maybe flat out just bold-faced lied to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I no nobody's immune from any of that, but um, it was I don't know. It was just interesting. It just really kind of hit different how he said it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I know I'm trying not to be cryptic. Everything's fine. It's just one of those things that you just kind of, that just hits you and you're like, oh, okay.
I find Jordan Peterson has a way of explaining things that you're just like, oh, really? And it makes me, it shakes all of my beliefs, and it makes me really, really question whether I agree with what he's saying or not. He
Yeah.
has the ability to make me question. Now, I may be
Yeah.
biased because he's Canadian, but I appreciate his insight. And again, I don't always agree with it, but yeah, but it gives me the opportunity to be like, oh, that is the other opinion, or that is another opinion. What do I think of that opinion?
Right.
Yeah, I like people who make me think,
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when I listen to him, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a fairly intelligent person, but I have to look up a lot of words. I'm like, wait, I've heard that word. I kind of know it. What does it mean? But yeah, it was just interesting timing. It was interesting that I picked that particular of all the books on Audible I have to listen to. I was like, oh, let's continue on here. It was just one of those kind of, here's some insight. And I like that he's clinical in it. I really, my brain really loves like that very clinical side of things.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying that right, wrong, indifferent. I like that when you can say it to me in that kind of a way. And yeah.
Yeah.
I want to answer this question from Tara. My social life in my 3rd year of sobriety sucked. I'll just be real. I was in a church where, people were either married or we just weren't on the same. If it was any single people, they either had, significant others that they were, I didn't have anybody. I was 2,000 miles away from where I had always called home. And I was struggling. I really was struggling. That was a really tough time. And I mean, it was agonizing loneliness. It really was. And but I got through it, and I got through years of that. I don't really know. It had to have served a purpose because it kept being the repeat setting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I got through it, and I'm very thankful for the relationships that I have today.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, I can say
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't great, and of course I had pigeonholed myself. I think that as a Christian, it's easy to do. You get, there's a culture within this church or that church or the other church, and and you want to toe that line. You want to be part of that. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be lonely. You're part of a community. And so you do what the culture is, and
Mm-hmm.
but that culture, the one that I was in, was very isolating because I couldn't really have secular friends, and I did here and there, work friends, that kind of thing, but I always was a little too much for them because I was just too preachy.
Yeah. And I think I might have, and we're trying to look at it in a positive way instead of saying that this was one of the biggest relapses of my life, getting sober this time, like this last bit that I was using. I think I
Yeah.
have lots of practice under my belt, pushing myself into some situations where I probably wouldn't feel safe as soon as I do this time around. Just because I have the practice and I know what I went through before and I know what failed for me before,
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
and
that's
again, trying to see
valuable.
it positively instead of saying this was the worst relapse I could have ever imagined. So
Yeah, right
I
on.
think it's just introspection, going back again,
Yeah.
introspection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of that. I mean, if nothing else, Tara, I did a lot of introspection. And it,
Mhm.
I was forced into it. And I might not have been had I had a great social life. Now that I'm
Mhm.
thinking about it, and now that you kind of point that out, and here I am. I'm 30 years sober. I mean, I may not have done everything right, but I am here.
And
And
you're
there were
sober.
and I'm sober, and there were times when I didn't want to be. There were times when I'm like, I wish I was a drinker right now. I would rather just get through this by drinking.
Mhm.
I said that a lot. I've said that a whole lot in these 30 years. A
Mhm.
whole lot.
Mhm.
I'm jealous of people who can,
Mm.
get through their problems that way, and then, maybe not have to have it later on down the line or what have you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it really works out that way, but if it would have worked out that way for me, I'd have sure done it.
I feel the jealousy too. I'm jealous of people who can have one or two drinks and then stop. I
Yeah.
really, really am, because I know
Yeah.
that I have one or two and I'm going to be blackout drunk by the
Wow.
time that I'm done my night. So
Right.
I can feel that. I can feel that.
Right on.
I think it's amazing to know that about yourself as well, to have worked on yourself in your sobriety and to know your limits. Because everybody has limits of what you can, what you can handle, what you can do, what you can't do, who you can be around. So I think anybody that knows that, I think that's amazing, really, you know.
I think everything does happen for a reason. Everything
Mhm.
seems to have happened for a reason in my life, you
Yeah.
know? I I I can appreciate people who think that everything's just random chance, but I don't feel like I have that luxury. I
Mhm.
would not be alive if that was my attitude. I'd be kind of fatalistic, and I wouldn't be here, 'cause
Yeah.
that's kinda how I was when I was drinking.
Mhm.
1 turns into 10, been there, had the hangovers to prove it. Yeah, Matrix.
Yeah. And Tara's right. She goes, it takes a lot of energy to find a tribe. It does.
It
Think
does.
it takes a lot to find your people. And you think maybe you
Yeah.
found your people, and then maybe you realized you didn't actually find your people, or maybe you liked them but they didn't like you, and you're back
Yeah,
again
it is
looking,
tricky. It's as
you
tricky
know.
finding your tribe as it is finding a good therapist. At least it has been
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it really
Oh,
is.
and I think some of the darkest moments though is when we find our tribe, is when we find our people. And it sucks that we have to go down that path sometimes. Excuse me, but I think that it only makes those friendships and those connections stronger.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I agree. Well, and the trust is there. If you've got people that you trust that are helping you get through those difficult times, it makes you realize that you can trust again. Because maybe you're coming out of a situation where you couldn't trust. Maybe you couldn't trust yourself. You couldn't trust other people, who knew what you were coming out of. So
yeah.
learning to trust again is that's why one of my favorite songs is Times Like These by the Foo Fighters. I love the acoustic version, but I guess times like these, you learn to live again. You learn to love again. And I think
Right
that's so
on.
important because it is
Yeah,
times like these. It is
Mhm.
times
yeah,
like these where your back is against the wall, and you're kind of not really sure what direction to even go. And that's when you find yourself. That's when you find your grit, That's when you find, that thing within you that allows you to just stand up and you might be stumbling forward. But I think it was Martin Luther King Jr. that said it. He's like, if you can't, like, it was something about if you can't walk, crawl, like something about crawl, go in a direction, crawl. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't, like run, just move in a direction.
Right
Like
on.
go. However it is, you have to go about it. Just do it. So it doesn't matter if it's baby steps. It doesn't matter if you're crawling. Yeah, you might be looking at someone who's running, but who knows how long it took them to get to the point where they could even run. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't know the years that they spent or what they went through. So if you're in a
Yeah.
stage where you're just crawling, hey, you know what? One day you will be that walker and then you will be that runner. You don't know how long it's going to be, but you will be there. You'll get there.
Eventually,
Yeah.
no matter how long it feels like it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is the point of living if we live like we are already dead? Well,
Mhm.
yeah. I've spent some time there living like I was not really here. I've spent a good deal of time there, but I'm still thankful for the chance to not, every day is a chance to live like you are alive.
Yeah.
And
And to
that's,
learn how to live like you're alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's not something that I feel like society or parents or anybody really teaches us until we decide we want to.
yeah. It sounds like it, Mr. Boston. I'm so sorry to learn about your brother.
Oh.
Seventh son. I only abused clear liquor, beer and whiskeys. I enjoyed too much of the taste. Well, seventh son, I'm so glad that I'm so glad that you're still with us. They're smiling. Yeah, that can be so hard. It's a relationship that you grieve. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Aristotle said that about dead. Okay. I gotcha. Ooh, he said if you have to be a slave to be a happy slave. Interesting. Okay. Sorry for being late. I love this meeting. Positive energy and vibes to you. Love you, Misha. I'm just seeing I'm catching up on the chat, you guys. I think I'm caught up here. Oh, were y'all here when I talked about the dog?
I didn't hear that. The dog. No.
The people did come and get the dog yesterday. They named him Clyde, and they sent me a text message today letting me know how the trip went. He didn't get car sick. He just stayed curled up at her feet with his head in her lap, and said he's doing good. I know they're the only ones that have sent something the next day to let me know he's okay. Oh, I
Oh,
just thought that was so sweet.
oh, that's amazing. That's gotta make you feel good too.
It does. It does. I feel good about every person that's gotten one of the puppies, but
Good.
that for that to be the last people, which Steve doesn't want me to keep Lucy, but I want to keep her.
You're keeping Lucy. I think Lucy might have been voted on to the island.
Has a good point. She said, "Have you ever been asked to keep a secret that puts you in an uncomfortable position? Seems to be a theme for me the last few months."
Uh-oh.
Are you looking for an answer to this? Because I do have an answer. Like if you're truly, um, yeah. Um, and what I have done personally is if somebody's in direct danger, like if someone is going to harm themselves or something like that, what I usually tell people is, okay, what do you have to say? And if they're going to hurt themselves or someone else, then me personally, I feel like that's a point where I kind of have to reach out and say something because I want to make sure that my friends are safe. As far as, that kind of thing, that's a tough place and
Yeah.
that is a very difficult place to be,
Oh,
you
it's
know.
the
And
worst. It's one of the worst.
and depending on what it is, like if it's serious or you feel it's serious enough, um, and it could affect someone's life or livelihood or someone else's life, please don't keep that secret. Share it if you need to, just to keep someone safe. Um, but maybe if someone's doing that to you often, if it's the same person, um, maybe there's a healthy response you can come up with to just say, well, you can tell me what you want to tell me, and then, I get to decide what to do with the information or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be that harsh, that, you know, um, but, maybe so they know up front, hey,
Yep.
because that is a tough place.
Yeah.
Make
Very
it
tough.
through Monday, and if we can do anything to help Seventh Son, please let us know.
Yes,
Your brother's
yes.
memorial coming up. One's for you, Seventh.
Mhm.
Please let us know if we can do anything
Yes,
at
yes.
all to help. Yes, sending lots of love and support, Seventh.
Mhm.
Miss Sunrise Dawn. Growing up, our neighborhood had a black lab named Clyde. She couldn't keep him in a fence. Yeah, some Pyrenees are like that. My girl Pyrenees, the mom, she can climb any fence she wants to. He
She
was
can get
more or less
herself in
a
trouble.
dog. Everybody loved Clyde. He even learned to ring doorbells. You know, quite possibly, Tara, one can be loyal to a fault. It's quite possible. Because sometimes it doesn't serve us. But I mean, is it though? If it's something that you feel you need to get help with, that's also could be, if you wanted to, viewed as an act of loyalty. It
Mhm.
just depends on is it caring for the person? If it is, that's that, they may not see it that way in the thick of it, but I guess I'd have to know a little bit more detail. If you know that it's a secret that can't be kept, that somebody is going to get hurt if it's kept,
Yeah.
then, you know,
And maybe if it's the same person, like I understand that they said something after they were telling you. Maybe if it's the same person doing this over and over again, it's just a boundary that you need to set with them. I can't guarantee that this is something I'm going to be able to keep. It's really dependent on what it is that you're asking me to keep.
yeah.
But you may not have the
Okay.
privilege of it being the same person over and over again. And I say privilege in, maybe the wrong context, but you may not have the same person over and over again doing it. It may be somebody different.
They didn't ask if I would keep the information private until after they told me. Well, now that's a whole potential different kettle of fish altogether.
It feels
You
a bit,
know,
yeah.
uh,
You know,
to throw a bomb and that's a dangerous one, and swear you to secrecy after the fact. That's kind of a low blow. I'm just saying.
Mm,
Maybe it wasn't meant that way.
mhm. Yeah, so it is not the same person continuously, but it's a theme with multiple people right now.
Okay.
Maybe what you could say, Tara, just a thought, I don't have all the answers, but maybe what you could say if someone's like, hey, I'm telling you this in strictest confidence, um, or they start telling you something, maybe you could just even kind of stop them and just say, listen, I want you to understand that, I'm someone that you can talk to, but if
Mm,
this is something big and important, then I might not be
mm,
able to keep that secret. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe if you start saying it now to everybody, then everybody will kind of understand that, you're someone that is safe, but you're not going to keep detrimental, unhealthy secrets, you
this
know.
secret is going to come out eventually, and it will hurt people. That sucks. The person is not doing it continuously. Oh, that's a tough one. The theme with yeah. I'm taking all of you guys for a little ride, LOL. It's not a dangerous bomb, but it will be hurtful when it comes out, which it will. That
You know what?
sucks.
They
That
untruths,
sucks.
they always do come out, you know. I don't know.
Mm-mm-mm. I am in Metrofest and sometimes Back Bay. I'm personally dealing with something that I should have opened up about and spoken with someone before it got too bad. It caused a lot of people problems, but I thought I was being a friend. It's tough. Yeah.
Tough spot to be too.
Yeah, Misha. Tara, sometimes people will ask you to keep a secret after they have told you because they know that it shouldn't actually be kept. Good point, Crystal.
So that is really profound.
Good point, Crystal. I'm gonna say that bears repeating. Tara, sometimes people will ask you to keep a secret after they've told you because they know that it shouldn't actually be kept.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or maybe they caught themselves like, oh, maybe I don't want this getting out. Now that they're hearing themselves saying it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Tara, you really were put in a bad position. I mean,
That's a terrible position to be put in.
that's a
Yeah.
difficult position. And I think
Mm-hmm.
my advice to you, if you want it, is you need to do what feels good for you and what
Yeah.
you're comfortable with, because at the end of the day, you're the one that is going to have to know that you knew this and handle that. Because if, you know, you, I mean, I would hope that you wouldn't lose any friends over it. But, if the people that you kept it from, would it hurt them more, to know? And I think sometimes in this situation, you just kind of you have to do what is best for your conscience, because you're the one that knows, and you've got to do what you feel most comfortable with. And
The thing
that's a
is,
tough place.
yeah, the thing is I don't want to compromise my relationship with the people I was asked to keep the secret from. Puts me in a tough spot, trying not to be mad about it all. You know what, Tara? You have a right to be mad about that. That's a stink ass thing to do to somebody.
It is.
That is
It is.
not a, that is, you have a right to be mad. You know, there is making a positive out of a negative, but sometimes you got to face the negative head on before you can do
Mhm.
that, you know? And,
And
and even though anger may be a negative emotion, sometimes it is the appropriate emotion.
It's
And
something that, go ahead, Christy.
just real quick, if you don't want to compromise your relationship with the people I was asked to keep the secret from, would keeping the secret compromise it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it could be compromised because you kept it, or it could be compromised because you didn't keep, because then if they come to you and they say this happened, and then they say, did you know? Then you then have to answer that question,
That's
right?
true.
So,
That's
so I
true.
think probably what I would say to look at, if it were me, and again, if they're important to you and that relationship is important to you, your conscience is important to you, what is, what is the thing to do? And maybe the thing might be to
You
say
know,
something. I don't know.
yeah, say something to the person who's put you in that position of knowing that information and say, look, I'm not going to tell these people that you're keeping this from because you're going to tell them.
Yeah. I've done that with the kids. I've been like, all right, look, y'all got 3 days to fess up to this. If you don't, I'm fessing up for you.
Yeah.
Well, I have said that to children. So, it's a crappy place to be.
It
It
is.
really is. Because especially when you know it's going to be that hurtful, like you don't want to hurt your friends, and you having the relationship with God that you have and working through what you're working through, because you come on here and said that you were Christian. It's even more difficult because
Yeah.
then that's something told to you in confidence, and how do you do that? And um I will tell you this, I do know somebody who thought everybody kind of thought that this person knew what was going on, and turns out this person didn't know. And then when everything kind of blew up, they came back and they're like, why did you not say anything? Like they were really hurt that nothing was said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my response to this person was, I thought you knew. And this person's like, absolutely, I had no idea.
No idea.
Now we were able to get past it, but so there's gonna be a fallout either way. Which side of it do you want to be on? You
You know
know?
what? They put you in that unfair position, Tara. The person does need to tell them we're under a time constraint. I hope they choose to be honest. Might be one of those things where it's fair to say you're gonna tell them by this time constraint, or I will.
Mhm.
You pick your
Mhm.
poison here.
Yeah. Given the
And I just,
opportunity to do the right thing. I
yeah.
mean, with that, you know,
You
we
are
always
under
hope
no
for things
obligation.
to be on.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said, they need to be honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You are a seventh son. I think you are spot on here. You are under no obligation to keep a secret that was given freely, only to ask you to keep it. Fair. That is fair.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. And I just wanted to jump back to the it's okay to be angry. If these ladies have taught me anything, being angry shows us where our boundaries are.
Yeah.
So, it's not, anger doesn't have to be a negative emotion.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. It can just
Right.
be a learning opportunity. Now
Yeah.
I sound like Christy.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're angry because a boundary was crossed, then, that's appropriate, and you have a right to your boundaries. You have a
Absolutely.
right to make them known, to enforce them, and to expect people to respect them. And if they do not respect them, there needs to be a consequence of some kind, you know.
And Tara, I want to say, Tara said, loyalty is the strength of mine, but seems to cause problems sometimes too. You need to be loyal to yourself, to your
Yeah.
core beliefs, and
Yeah.
who you want to be as a person as well. And I think sometimes, I know for me growing up, it was always really difficult to kind of separate things because how I internalized things and took things to mean on my end wasn't necessarily always the healthiest. So I think be loyal to yourself above all things, and when you really try to be above reproach and you try to take that good road, um, it's going to be tricky at times, but this could be an opportunity for you to put some boundaries into place, of saying, you can share with me, but if I mean, you can talk about it. It's like I used to tell my kid, I would always say, you can tell me anything. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get mad, and it doesn't mean that we're not going to deal with it. We might not deal with it in that moment, but the day of dealing with it will come. Like, I always told him, I'm like, if you're ever at a party and you're drunk, like, please don't drive. Call me. I will not be mad at you that night. I will come home. I will get you. I will put you to bed. I will make sure you are safe. But you're not getting a free pass either. So, maybe there's something like that. This is an opportunity for you to, place some of those in and kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, in a way, and
Yeah.
figure out who your friends are, because your real friends won't put you in those positions. They might come to you for advice and say, what do I do in this position? Um, but you know,
They're not going to ask you
All right.
something later after telling you
No.
absolutely everything that they wanted you to keep a secret. It's I almost agree with Matrix a little bit, and this is also coming from a very jaded individual, especially when it comes to manipulation. It feels
Yeah.
manipulative to me.
It does. It does. And you don't have to be manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm wondering, I don't really know how to address this one. What I think started the blow up about what I'm dealing with is my questioning the situation. It was something I didn't agree with, and they knew it. When I told them that I was going to be looking into it further, they realized that their truth was going to be coming out, and unfortunately it came out in a much different way. How do you stay friends but keep true to yourself? Well, sometimes it's not possible,
Yeah.
because sometimes people put you in an unreasonable position, and that's your crossroad with them. And they're either going to decide to stay friends with you, and you also have to decide that you have to, and whether or not there's somebody you want to stay friends with.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. All's
Yeah.
fair
Mhm.
there,
And
you know?
I it's important to how serious is the situation? Is it like a little situation, or is it a really big situation that caused huge problems? If it caused
Right.
huge problems for a lot of people, and it affected all sorts of things, then I mean, let me give you an example. I won't say who it is, but there was a person, um, and I come to learn some things. And so I got in touch with this person, and I said, I've got 3 questions I want to ask you. And I asked this person questions. And then at the end, I had decided, I went in kind of not really knowing how it was going to go one way or the other. And at the end, I was like, I don't really think that we can continue to be in contact with each other. And you walk away from a situation, you know. I've walked away from people that were my friends, like good friends for years, because of things. And I think this is where the rubber meets the road. I mean, you've got to this these both of these issues that both Tara and Misha are talking about. These are important personal issues. These are times for you to define who you want to be as a person. How do you
Mhm.
want to be known? How do you want to be seen? What is the
Mhm.
type of person that you want to be, and what is important to you? And where does that start and where does that stop? And then once you decide that, you've got to stand fast in that. You decided that, stand in it, and make that be who you are. And then it will be there for the next time. And you will find you getting into these situations less and less and less
Less and
because
less.
that
That's true.
becomes boundary.
Yeah.
You know,
And people learn your boundaries,
you don't
you
have to
know?
go around and announce to everybody either. Sometimes your vibe just gives it off. Like a human being, like, not that one. I'm not real sure what's going on there, but we're stepping away from that one.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be manipulated, Tara. And that seems there's an odor of manipulation there that
Mhm.
I really don't like. I don't have to like it or not, dislike it, but that stinks. That just stinks.
Like, be the good girl. It is difficult, you know.
Mhm.
And you kind of think at one point, you know, you're like, I'm a grown up. Does this still happen? Yeah, it does, and it happens on much deeper levels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
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 Tara, you are being asked to choose one friend over another. A friend would not do that. You know, somebody who truly cares about you, cares about the situation they put you in.
Mhm.
So that could be something to take a look at,
Yeah.
you know. Good point. Go ahead.
Gordo, I'm so sorry that happened.
I'm way behind.
Oh, you're okay.
You'll get there. It's okay.
I just call it the way I see it. Yeah, you do, Matrix. Hi, Henny. Having a day with the granddaughter. Yay. Right on. That's not how you treat friends, Ms. D. You're right. Yeah. A friend cares about the position they put you in. They don't force you into a terrible position like that. They've got some other agenda going has nothing to do with friendship with you and caring about you.
And your friends are always looking out for your best interest. You know, anytime that I've gone to my friends, whether it be these two beautiful women on the screen or, you know, other people that I have, they've always come with good advice that helped me as their friend, you know. And that's another thing too. You know, your friends are going to be mindful and thoughtful of you and
Yeah.
let you take the time and listen to you when you're like, I don't even know what to think about this. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've
Mhm.
called, you know, Carol and Stasia both and been like, I did, ooh, you know, and
Yeah.
there's been some stuff, you know. And the thing is, I'll kind of go in thinking one thing, and they'll bring up different points about different things, and I'll be like, oh, you know, and maybe I come out of the conversation still feeling the same way. Maybe I have a little different spin on things. Um, but sometimes you need that perspective. But there's a difference between perspective and, hey, you know, this is going to blow up several people's lives. This is really detrimental. This is going to
Mhm.
cause a lot of problems. Um, like I can tell you with confidence, I know neither one of these women on the screen would ever come to me with something like that. Like they just would never. So, you know, take a look at how you define friendship and how you define it
Yeah.
for yourself. Because this
Yeah.
is, again, an opportunity for you to really say, hey, you know, and they come along and they come in icky ways. You know, it's not like, you know, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever you believe in, just hands you like this beautiful flower that's already grown and is like, child, go plant this in your garden. No, you get like this mucky, globby seed that like, and they're like, here. And you're like, what do I do with this? But you know, you clean it off and you plant it, and it grows a beautiful flower. But it doesn't always look that way at the beginning, unfortunately. Yeah.
Misha, Plant Freak says, friends wouldn't push your loyalty to the max. They knew you wouldn't be okay with it, and they chose to keep down the same path. They're not, okay, someone in my personal life. Okay. You would think that adults would be more sensible.
I feel like they're less sensible sometimes, okay?
You think about how their actions will affect others. Yeah, you would. You really,
You would
you,
hope.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Matrix, I'd rather be jaded here with y'all and walked all over anymore. Yeah, you know, better pissed off than pissed on. Sometimes that shoe fits.
Or, you know, my favorite one was Judge Judy. She said, "Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining."
I like that one a lot.
Love that. I'm like, wow,
That's
truer
amazing.
words.
Yeah.
Truer words.
That's right.
Was that your rooster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I didn't have a random video going again.
All right. Am I catching up at all?
Starting to.
That is really a crappy position they put you in, Tara. I think this person's agenda is deeply disturbed. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right to see it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. Tara, how did you respond when they asked for you to keep the secret after the fact? Unfortunately, I told them that I wouldn't say anything. Stupid move. Okay. Well, you can renege on that. You've had some time to think about it, and it's not going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back to that person and let them know. That doesn't work for me. Sounds like someone's playing mind games and not the fun ones. Yeah. Tara, not stupid. It's a learning curve. You are learning. Yeah. However, I went to Russia once. They treat everyone like a family there, which is what is missing in our Western society. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that one should do with a narcissist is run. Only one person can keep a secret. Yeah. Good point. Good point, seventh son. They chose not to keep that secret. And you don't even have to let them make it your problem. Have you ever been to Pyramid in Allentown? Yay, let's see. Always wanted to see the Rosicrucian Pyramid. That is there. All righty. I feel peace. I do not worry. Worrying is the only thing that ever brought me trouble. Yeah. Worrying has only ever brought me trouble. Yeah. All right. Tara, if it doesn't feel right for you to keep the secret, huh?
Said Crystal's bringing the wisdom today.
I like what she's saying.
Tara, if it doesn't feel right to you to keep that secret, then it shouldn't be kept, regardless if you said you would or not.
Yep.
Spot on, Crystal.
Not only that, we're human and we're all on a learning curve and we all have our own damages. And example, my ex sent a computer tower that's 15 years old, that's non-functional, with our son the last time. And I didn't know how to say no to the worker who had brought it. So I assessed the situation and I messaged and I said, this needs to be returned to him. I don't need it. It's non-functional. And I see it for what it is. It's a form of external control. I'm no longer there. He's still trying to. I get that. But in the moment, I didn't know what to do. So even though I'm saying all of this to you, Tara, I still struggle with it. I still struggle with it, even in our experiences. So you're allowed to say, I'll keep that secret, but then, no, I really can't. This is making me feel horrible. This is making me feel icky. No, now you need to do your job and you need to have it come out in the open. That's all. Try not to think of it as, oh, I did this. Oh, I made this mistake. No, it's a learning opportunity. Christy, you're really wearing or rubbing off on me.
Becca,
A lot of
hey,
conversation.
I need some positive today. Well, what can we do to help bring some positive into your life? It's our struggles that define us and the hardships we endure, Mr. Boston. In moments of tragedy, we bond. In our weakness, clarity flies. I have been blessed with the inspiration to take what I have and always. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You can actually go back to the beginning now if you'd like. Becca Jean, it's glad you're here. Of course. You can actually, all right. Hair, your advice is going to the person that, okay, wait, what? Hair, whose hair? What's hair? Your advice of going to the person that asked you to keep the secret to, Tara, tell them you can't. So either way, they reveal the secret or you will. Yep. Read my comment before.
Becca Jean, what kind of, how can we bring positivity to you? Are you struggling with something? You need to see it in a positive way? Do you just need to laugh? What positive thing can we bring to you?
A replay of name.
I meant to put Nam.
Woo, I'm caught up.
Healing. Okay. You need healing?
So she had said before, she's wondering if there's a replay that she can watch.
Yeah.
And just wanted to.
You can watch any of my lives after it's gone live. YouTube automatically uploads, and it's there in my channel from now to perpetuity. So you can, if you could even like go back and watch it sped up to 1.25 or 1.5 and catch up to this point. If you want to do it that way, you don't have to, of course, but I do that sometimes. When I catch the middle of a live, I'll kind of go back. I'll go to the beginning and play it at 1.5 speed if I can understand it, and then eventually when it catches up to where the live is now, it'll go back to normal speed on its own.
My only suggestion is we did have Pup Groomer once say, well, yeah, box breathing, well, on 1.5 speed is hyperventilating. So just keep that in mind.
That's like Lamaze breathings on steroids.
You're back at the okay, so back at the ER. You're in the ER right now. I cannot breathe freely in RN refib. Is that right? Do I have that right? Refib? So I have to tell all again. Oh, I'm sorry, Becca Jean. Well, no, well, we know that you're in the hospital, and I'm going to assume that it has something to do with your heart and lungs. We are sending all the positive vibes, all the prayers, all the good thoughts, everything each of us does. We're sending it to you, Becca Jean. I'm sorry you're going through this. Sorry. Right now. Okay. All righty.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. My brain patch busted? A blood bomb in my room.
Oh
Becca
no.
Jean. Oh, Becca Jean. Oh.
I don't understand what any of that means, but that does not sound good, and I'm so sorry.
Many healing prayers. 100%, Ms. D. Yeah. And you are very welcome, Tara. You know, these lessons didn't come cheap. And they didn't come easy. You know, and sometimes they still get put to the test.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said earlier, we all still struggle. I still struggle. It's not easy to uphold our boundaries when we don't want to lose people. We also don't want to disrespect people. And I have the same, I call it a syndrome, Tara. I'm loyal to a fault sometimes. And I can be so loyal that I allow myself to be injured in the process. And that's what I'm trying to work on too.
Had brain surgeries, Becca Jean. Oh, well, I'm glad you're being seen to. Hello, Tommy, Captain Tommy lurking, but big hello to all 17 of you, Becca Jean. One Becca Jean, yes,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Oh, Lordy,
Found
Becca.
bad things on the scan. Oh no.
Oh,
What I
no.
missed? Oh, hey, Tommy.
She's had brain, yeah, she's had brain surgeries and they found bad things on this scan.
Oh, gosh. Whew.
Mm,
I'm so sorry.
yeah, Tara, that's
Mhm.
true. Loyalty is a strength. Without boundaries, though, it can be a weakness. Yeah.
Oh,
And when
well,
your immune system eats the brain muscle, what? Becca Jean, we are going to just keep sending you all the good things we can send you.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Later.
Tara, that is exactly what I'm learning. Before my ex, I thought having no boundaries was normal. Now I'm seeing why they are needed. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
One's for Becca Jean. Just keep them coming. That sounds so scary.
Yes. I
Yes. As Misha says, even when we are not in a meeting later today, tomorrow, keep us posted. You will be in our thoughts and prayers. Yes.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know what to say. Like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's serious. That sounds very, very, very serious. And I hope they can get it straightened out for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
love and prayers to you, Becca Jean. One for Becca Jean. Yeah. Mr. Boston, I am a Rosicrucian, just like Abraham Lincoln was, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin, and Franklin also. Lean on us, love. We'll help see you through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, life. I shouldn't be alive, stroke, coma, but hey, Been sober a year Wednesday. This coming Wednesday. Well, you know what we do around here when somebody is celebrating sobriety of any kind. This is my mama's tiara. She wore it on her 95th birthday, which was her, final birthday. She had a 95-year run, a good run. And this is for you, Becca Jean. Mama's tiara, who lived
Yay.
well. Mama lived well.
Yeah.
Mama lived well.
Mama's tiara makes me so happy. And then, you know what? You're going through a lot right now, Becca Jean, and I really love the fact that you're seeing that silver lining and that you're able to see that right now. I really, really,
Yeah, that's amazing.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tara, the beach is so healing. Yes, it is. I miss the beach, y'all.
Too. I do too.
I'm
Thanks,
excited
Tara.
when I move. After I get the apartment, there's a really nice beach in the town where I'm going back to. So I'm super excited to have that for the summer.
Yay.
And like the river walks there are wonderful as well. Like they have paved areas beside. So I'm just starting to get a little bit more excited instead of just anxious. Let's go for water. I want everything to be near the water.
I love water. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be the Aquarius.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, and I always, when I'm looking at the two things that make me feel the smallest in the world in such a positive way is the stars in Montana under the sky, because it's just like
Ooh.
this huge blanket of all of these like little fairy lights. Like if you could imagine someone just took a million little fairy lights and stuck them in the sky. That's what it looks like. And then the other thing is the ocean. Kenai Beach in Alaska is my favorite beach in the whole wide world. It's beautiful, but I love it. I love the ocean, just standing next to it, knowing that you're so small and something so much bigger is out there. However that looks for you, however you see that,
Mhm.
to me
Yeah.
is just positive. But I like, well, I mean, I'm already short, so I'm used to feeling small, but I like feeling smaller.
You like feeling microscopic.
Teeny tiny.
Makes me think of Horton Hears a Who. It's a dust speck flying around and like the little who's inside of the dust speck. Yeah, that's my mom brain.
Yeah, there you go. Gordo, have a good night. Um, take care.
Yeah. You too, Gordo.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good night.
And we love that you come in, Gordo, and pop in
Yeah.
and say hi
Yeah.
and see us. And so, I'm trying to think if I have anything funny to share or anything that uplifting. I just don't know what
I have a question. Do you guys leave tonight or tomorrow to see those wonderful cherry trees in Washington?
if we go, it'll be tomorrow. We're kind of debating, because the dogs you heard. So, we may go, we may not go, we might just hang around here. So, but if we do, it'll be tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I was closer, I'd take the dogs for you to make it easier, but
You'd probably take them for a day and then be like, all right.
or you just never get them back, one or the other.
It's funny when she runs. She's really cute. But
Yeah.
you know, she's adorable, you know. She has a special place in my heart. There were so many times that the vet was like, this could be, brace yourself. And but here she is being sassy. So clearly, she's
She's so
a
cute.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Steve is really, really not wanting me to keep Lucy.
No.
Yeah, but I really, really want to keep Lucy. Like Seventh Son said, Steve doesn't realize that, we're keeping Lucy.
Yeah. Or he doesn't realize that there's been a vote made
Essentially,
and he
that's
just
what he
wasn't included.
said in so many words.
Or he just doesn't realize that there was a vote made yet and he just wasn't included.
Right. Yeah, needing a meeting, and I have decided.
He'll be like, I'm rethinking this needing a meeting thing now.
That is cute as it can be. That is so cute. Youngest kitty just hopped across the floor like a bunny.
Oh,
Aw.
Oh my goodness.
nice, nice, nice.
Well, is anybody in the chat needing a meeting still? If so, put a big old 2 there. And if you feel like we have had a meeting, give us a 3. You can think of the 3 as part of a heart. And most of y'all know what I mean when I say, put a 2 in the chat if you're still needing to dump, still got something on your mind that you need to unload. That's what the 2 means. It was a good meeting, Tara.
Yeah.
Thank you for trusting us with your situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to the beach and get some perspective and see this as an amazing learning opportunity that it is, and a chance for you to grow yourself, however that looks for you, and place boundaries if you need to place them.
Yeah. You're gonna do great, Tara.
You are. You are.
I ended up having my recovery management caseworker give me, I mean, there's got to be like 70 pages for me to go through. Placing boundaries, how to place them properly, different situations, how to uphold them. It's something I'm learning. It's something I'm trying to get better at, but this is literally like a guide. So I'm happy to share that if anybody wants it, but I do have to share that via email because it's such a large file. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I see a
Cool.
lot of threes.
Yeah, I did
Mhm.
too. Do you feel like doing a meditation today, Christy?
We can do a meditation.
Right on.
It's been a while. It gets kind of hectic when Michael comes home. So I feel bad because I love doing the box breathing and the meditations, but with the dogs going that sometimes.
Right on. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So can you guys hear me okay? Oh shoot. Am I cutting in and out or anything? Am I good? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do some box breathing. What we'll do is we will do 3 sets of box breathing. So go ahead, and what you'll do is breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale until all the air is out of your lungs, letting your shoulders drop. And kind of do a little sigh at the end. It just kind of helps relax everything. If you have a personal mantra or you just want to say something positive to yourself, say it on the in breath. And then anything that is just hanging on, icky, nasty, release it with on the exhale. And I really push it, just we'll do that 3 times. Then we'll go into a little guided meditation. And then when the meditation is done, I'll say, whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. So go ahead and take a moment and just kind of get loose, roll your shoulders, like Taylor Swift says, shake it off and get a little loose. All right, go ahead and close your eyes and drop into your heart space. Whether that looks like you putting your hand on your heart or in imagining a small version of yourself going inside to your heart, opening the door, and just sitting there for a moment. We're going to do 3 box breaths. So go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to imagine yourself barefoot, walking onto a nice sandy beach. The sun is just starting to set, and you can see all the beautiful colors in the sky. The red, oranges, the purples, and the pinks. And you can hear the waves crashing. They go up against the shoreline. And with each step you take, you release something that's heavy and burdensome. And you're going to take 3 steps till you get to the edge of the water, where you're going to put your toes in the nice warm water. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. You're standing on the shoreline with the water rushing over your feet. I want you to take a moment and imagine in your mind's eye, spreading out your arms as wide as they can, heading your head back and closing your eyes. And in this moment, I want you to release, whether that is a scream, a yell, a laugh, a cry, that thing that is really, really stuck, that thing that is stuck down in your stomach, that's all knotted up and churning. I want you to take a moment to imagine just releasing that. And you look down and you smile and you look over to your right and you see all of us standing around a big bonfire. And we encourage you and wave you to come over. And as you're standing there around us, we all pick up sticks. And with this stick, I want you to focus all of your energy on something that you want to change in your life. Something that no longer serves you. Focus it deeply and intently into the stick. And then I want you to throw it into the fire. And watch as it sparks and burns. And the smoke drifts up to the sky. Never to be seen from again. And then each one of us wrap our arms around the others. And I want you to take a moment and imagine all of that love, support, happiness, and encouragement filling your heart, your soul, and your body. And to send and receive that love. And now we all look off into the sunset. And we end the meditation with a rounding huzzah of confidence, love, and support, knowing that this is a safe place where we can each come. When you are ready, after a big exhale, open your eyes.
Love it.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Huzzah!
I've missed saying that. I like a good huzzah.
Huzzah!
Something powerful about it, you know, especially when you
Yeah.
put your fist in, you're like, huzzah! Like you're taking control.
The very first I ever said huzzah out loud was at a Ren Fair. And this really great band from Scotland. Just this
You-
primal, just amazing band. And he would have us every few songs do a big old huzzah. I'm like, I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, there's just
There's something
primal.
to it.
There is. That should be our thing. If you're ever like stressed out and box breathing doesn't work for you, just let out a huzzah. You know, right in the middle, wherever you are, just huzzah. All right.
Good. I'll do it in the middle of the grocery store, and then everybody's gonna look at me hilarious.
New story to tell, and I won't be the onlyest one.
Right?
Ground cheese, and then you're good.
But what if I want to? Like, I feel like I need to reenact that in some form of my life.
Yay. Well, I'm glad we got to do a meditation. Thanks for that, Christy, so much.
Yes. Like I said, I'm usually good for about an hour, maybe hour and 15. So I
Yeah.
love doing the meditations for you guys. I love doing the box breathing. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of dependent on how it goes. But all right. I will see all of you tomorrow. Or well, no, I
All right.
won't. I won't.
Maybe
I won't.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
you'll be in Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Yes.
Washington,
Yes. So
D.C.
I will
Yes.
see you Tuesday. All right. You guys take care.
Have fun. Love
You
you.
too, Christy.
Love
Love
you
ya.
guys.
I don't have a Discord for needing a meeting, Mr. Boston, but I know the lifeboat does have Discord, and yeah.
Okay.
And I have not learned Discord yet. I haven't made the bandwidth available to take on another technology.
Don't feel bad. I haven't quite figured it out yet either. I've like added a few people, and I'm like, and now I've like my bandwidth is full of Discord right now. Like I can't do more. I can't.
Right on. And Tara Smiling has a Discord, and it's called Tara Smiling Server on Discord.
Perfect.
Okay, very good. You
Excellent.
make it a great night too, Lord Kiss Freak. Good to see ya.
I'll say good night
Yeah,
as well. Oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mr. Boston, if you want to put your the name of your Discord server up there, yeah, that'll work.
I'll say good night, everybody, as well. And Carol, I'm saying it out loud so I remember. I got to message you for Tara's email so I can send her that documentation.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Love you, and I'll talk to you
Love you
tomorrow.
too. Okay.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
All right, you guys. Well, I loved this meeting. You know, I just, yeah, good stuff. Thanks, you guys. A lot of great stuff was coming forward, you know, and so, yeah, lots of good counsel in here. Even though we're not professionals, we do have life experience, and we have had to learn to set some boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Krista, Melinda. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being part of this great community. Oh, yeah. And anyway, I hope to see you guys again next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.